Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Patovich here. Well, if you had a chance to get a few things done outside this morning before the rain moved in, you still have a little bit of time. It's getting cold, there's some sprinkles developing, but that low pressure system is moving in. There it is. I mean, I told you the story of the weekend right there in one satellite and radar loop. The low pressure just off the coast of Charleston in South Carolina, you could see it. Man, if this was, maybe over the water a little bit longer, we would be talking about a tropical system possibly, or subtropical at the very least. It's got fronts attached to it with the cold air, so it's really not going to be purely tropical. But it does have that characteristics of like a nor'easter or a tropical system. What's been happening, the first leading edge of the light rain has been pushing west. It's having a tough time reaching the ground as we expected with the dry air in place, but that's having an impact on the temperatures because that first batch of moisture gets evaporated, and that evaporative cooling causes the air to cool. So you can see, I'll put the smaller temperatures on. You can see temperatures under the rain are in the 50s, low 60s where the rain hasn't started yet. So it's just a matter of time. And as far as the wind gusts are concerned, you can see the winds really beginning to pick up as well. We've seen some pretty gusty winds out there, generally out of the northeast around 25 to 35, and even on the coast close to 40 and 45 miles per hour. So that's what's going to be moving inland throughout the day. So let's take a look at the future cast. All right, so don't expect the temperatures to get warm today. In fact, they're going to get colder as the day goes on. But here's a look at our future radar here. You can see the waves of rain. And again, it will start light and slowly ramp up. As I mentioned yesterday several times, kind of noon today to noon Sunday is the 24-hour window of probably the worst weather. Will it pour the entire time? Probably not. There's going to be breaks in there, but you can see, into the afternoon and evening, that's when we have some of the heaviest rain continuing to push in. Now, as we get into tonight and tomorrow, the low, depending on where it tracks, could push inland by mid-morning. And what that's going to do, it's going to force the axis of the heaviest rain, which is going to be along the cold air and warm flow up here. We'll start to see some dry air try to wrap in here. So anywhere along and north of the low pressure track is going to see the heaviest rain. But as we get towards noon tomorrow, you could see that's when the rain is still pretty heavy, but then it begins to get a little bit more scattered as we get into the afternoon tomorrow for the Coke 600. This is why there is some optimism, but it's still not great. 5, 6 o'clock, we could still see scattered showers around, but as we get later into the evening, the rain might be re-intensifying. So there is a chance the race gets in tomorrow, but it's not a great chance that we get all of it. It's probably going to take until early Monday for that load to move north. So that's really the whole forecast this weekend. It's just going to be watching where in the world does this surface low go and how far does it move. Now, that's hard to say because the steering currents in the atmosphere are actually all the way up here. So there's nothing steering the system. It literally just has to meander on its own. So there's not something that's easy to forecast. Like, the jet stream's moving at so many miles per hour, so you can kind of gauge how fast the system moves. When it's just drifting listlessly in the atmosphere, it's kind of hard to forecast how far and fast it's going to move. So that's why there's still some uncertainty and some optimism that maybe it moves out quicker tomorrow and we see better weather late in the day. But there's also that other side of that equation where it doesn't move as quickly and it drifts a little further west and we stay in the rain a little bit longer. The whole time, though, it is going to be windy, wet, and cold. It's just going to be a miserable 48 hours. That's a 48-hour loop there as we go through today, tonight, and tomorrow. So I wish I had better news for you. The rain is on the way. I'm going to try to get out and mow the lawn, maybe at least part of the lawn before this system moves in. Let me quickly show you where everything is right now before the rain rolls in. So again, that's the current look, and you kind of get the idea. It's slowly drifting in. The rain is picking up in intensity. But actually, let me put on the we'll put on the RGB, and you can kind of see the satellite a little bit better there. So there's our system. It's moving in, and boy, is it going to be a cold, raw afternoon and evening. So try to enjoy it the best you can. The rain is on the way. Fingers crossed for better weather late tomorrow into Monday.